I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Matt once again, as there you go, so it's not glaring at you. Thank you for watching this video and all the videos I've done. I appreciate it. This is a paid request from Chris Rogers. Thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to request pretty much any type of video, feel free. It could be a topic, a reaction, a review, random, out of the blue, anything in between. Feel free. You can send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries as well. If you're wondering what this is the fan, ceiling fan, because Texas, it's like really cold, and it's like hot as, you don't melt like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I open up the Ark of the Covenant and I'm ready to melt. Anyway, get to the topic at hand. Chris Rogers wanted me to talk about the first special of Unsolved Mysteries. Now, Unsolved Mysteries, I knew of the show, but I didn't grow up with the show. I haven't seen much of it. I've, of course, knew about it. I've seen the clips. I knew about Robert Stack, and I've seen the parodies that involved Robert Stack. I think he was in Basketball. The whole Unsolved Mysteries thing. Of course, Robert Stack, I would say I first saw him in a film called Uncommon Valor with Gene Hackman, a film I very much love and enjoy. Had Patrick Swayze in it, and as well as Fred Ward. Just Uncommon Valor, very underrated film, and Robert Stack was in that. But he's been in a lot of other stuff. He was in Airplane, and it's one of those things where he was the voice of Beavis and Butthead Do America. I knew more of the parodies and the homages than the show itself. But before Robert Stack, there were a couple people, including Raymond Burr. Raymond Burr, he was Perry Mason. Others may know him from the American version of Godzilla, called Godzilla King of the Monsters, from back in the 50s. And then he would come back in the American version, Godzilla 1985. I would say that's where I mostly know Raymond Burr from. But he was the host of this. For what I understand, and as Chris Rogers gave me a bit of info, which I'll read off before I get to the special at hand. When FilmRise released all the episodes on Amazon, they cut out over 200 segments across the 13 seasons. The reasons for this varies from statute of limitations, parental abduction cases, and threats of lawsuits from a few people who did not like the way they were portrayed during interviews. FilmRise also left out the first 3 specials, the first one hosted by Raymond Burr, the second and third hosted by Carl Malden. Again, this is the stuff they have put on Amazon. Robert Stack took over with special number 4, reasons why Raymond Burr and Carl Malden did not continue with the hosting duties is they wanted too much money. Plus, Raymond Burr was doing Perry Mason TV movies around this time. A lot of well-known actors got their start on Unsolved Mysteries, including Matthew McConaughey. So at the end of the special, keep an eye out for Rex Lynn. Rex Lynn, he is the guy in Cliffhanger. Fucking A, Quaylen, you're a fucking such an A. On my last official manhunt. Adios, motherfucker. Rex Lynn, he's been in a lot of other stuff too. He was one of the FBI agents in Rush Hour. He was in the TV show CSI Miami. He plays one of the bank robbers. Because what the show is, for those who don't know, there may be people who don't, they take real unsolved mysteries. They talk about the case, what happened. And at times they will do reenactments of certain events, and they'll put actors. Sometimes it's the real people playing themselves. Sometimes, again, if they're not comfortable, or if the person is still missing, or if it's a robber or a killer or someone, they'll hire an actor to play that. And again, do these reenactments. And in this special, one of the stories is about these two robbers, and one of them is played by Rex Lynn. And again, I think one of the reasons why I did not watch a lot of Unsolved Mysteries is because the ideas are interesting, but it's more when I know it's fake and I see it in a movie, that's fine. When I know it's real and it's like, oh man, this person died, this person was murdered, this person suffocated, or this person's body was found miles from their car, or I just feel bad. I feel bad because it's still a real people. This still happened to real people. I don't know if that made sense. It's like, again, if I saw this in a movie, I'd be invested in it. But when I see it and I know in my head this happened to real people, yeah, just depressing. So I think that's why I didn't watch a lot of this show. But on the flip side, watching it, I can easily see the fascination. It's the curiosity in us, where you watch it and then you sit there and you go, what did happen? What are your theories? What are your... And my Mike OCP, which he's going to have to... Mike, if you're watching, did you ever do a podcast on this special? The first special? If so, let me know. I would love to... He has a podcast with a guy named Josh called Uncovering Unsolved Mysteries. And I don't know if they do it episode by episode, but they do like certain events and big events. They do have a podcast. Just ask Mike OCP Communications, send him a comment, whether on Facebook or under his videos, and give his stuff a listen to. But yeah, I have to ask Mike later on, like, did you do one on this special? Because it'd be interesting to hear their thoughts on each of this stuff. But again, like 7 minutes in, 8 minutes in, the couple stuff this talks about. First off, in 1982, there was a Chevy Blazer found in the middle of the desert. The doors were open, an engine was running. There were like clothes on the ground, but this guy named Don Kemp was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere in sight. So years later, his body is found, and found like 3 miles away from the car. Which then makes me wonder, if it was only 3 miles away from the car, how, I mean, 3 miles, granted, is a lot, but at the same time, you would think with a search, I mean, I believe there was a blizzard, but the blizzard doesn't last 3 years straight, so I'm just wondering, it's just one of those things like 3 miles away and no one found the body until like 3-4 years later. Something about that is weird to me. I don't know. Maybe this is not that weird. I think it's the fact that it's only 3 miles away from the car is what weirds me out. And the mom feels he was abducted and killed, but the sheriff says it was natural. Natural causes. The autopsy revealed there's no struggle. They do mention there was a blizzard, and that's maybe what, perhaps how he died naturally. And apparently months after dying, A bartender said they saw him. Another got a telephone message saying something about, I forget what the person says. Oh, call me at this number. I can't talk much right now. And so the mom found out this number came from this trailer. I don't know what, 80, 100 miles away or something. And the cops and people talk to the person in the trailer. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what this is about. And the mom thinks that person had something to do with it. But to this day, that case has never been solved. I think the mom has passed away since then. And again, this is where I get the appeal, where you sit there and you go, it's a good conversation piece. How do I... It's the coffee table of TV shows, in a way. You know, coffee table, you put it on so people look at it and, hey, spark a conversation. This is that, but a TV show version. That'd be a put it on the DVD Blu-rays. The coffee table of TV shows. Coffee table book, I should say, of TV shows. Because I sit here and I go, okay, if the guy called and also a bartender saw him, how was he abducted? Because the mom thinks he was abducted from his car. But I'm like, okay, if he was abducted from his car, how would a bartender see the guy? What, did the guy he left being abducted and just went to a bar to get a drink? Also, the phone call. If he was abducted, why would he call someone and go, hey, call me back at this number? You would think he would go, hey, I've been abducted. Or, hey, not, I like to speak to you again. Here's the phone number. Hey, I've been abducted. Call the cops. I don't know where I'm at. Or get the fuck away and leave the trailer and go to the local police station. Again, it's like, if you're abducted, why are you taking the time? You're obviously free enough, and obviously you're alone enough to make a phone call. And when this special aired, and this is 1982, this is not in the days of cell phones. That means you're free enough if you're abducted. Again, if you're abducted, think about this. You're free enough to make a phone call, and it's got to be one of those da-da-da-da-5, da-da-da-da-2, da-da-da-3. Well, maybe it's a push one. One or the other. Again, it's not a cell phone, and you're there long enough for someone to not be there while you make a phone call. And the abductor must be stupid enough to leave a working phone right in the midst of this person. So I didn't think about that. You're abducted. If you're tied up well enough or badly enough to dial a phone, call someone, no one's noticing you, and it's a working phone, so the abductor's stupid. I don't know, just a lot of things that doesn't make sense with the whole abduction thing. And again, if a bartender saw him months later, you know what? Did he say, hey, you know what, you've been a good boy. Go to the bar and get a drink. You deserve a reward for being a good kidnappee. Go to the bar and get a drink. I do wonder if the person maybe was more crazy. I thought it said something like there was certain pills the guy was taking. I could be wrong on that. So I wonder if he was crazy But then again, how does he get there? Because that's another thing. There's the car. This phone call was made 80 miles or 100 miles, pretty fucking far away. But then the body went back and was there 3 miles away. So it might not have been the person that called. They may think it was. They may have, maybe out of desperation, they go, it must be him, it must be him. Doesn't mean it is him, but you're desperate to think it is. Because again, you don't abduct someone, but then you're going to go all the way back and have the body just 3 miles away from the car? How does that make sense? I'm going to abduct someone. Somehow it gets all the way over here where they make the phone call in this trailer, but then I'm going to bring the body all the way back. I mean, the abduction thing... I forget how far away. If it's 80 miles, say, why don't you go 80 miles in the other direction? Not 80 miles back to the scene of the crime. I guess to, well, I gotta make it so, to be able to do all that, and also to make it seem so the autopsy says there's no sign of a struggle. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, yeah. Don't know for certain what happened. But like I said, that sparks conversation. Another part was about these contract killings. Roger Wheeler was the president of Telex Corporation. He purchased, I'm going to butcher it's a sport. He purchased this sport as a side investment, a fast-paced sport, usually involved gambling. High Ally? I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. Something like High Ally, where you're bouncing the ball at the wall, and I think I've seen this played in a lot of movies. I just never knew it was called that. I just thought it was called something else. I'm like, is that the game like Sean Connery plays in Outland? And there's the ball, you bounce it against the wall. I think that's the room where Jean-Claude Van Damme fights one of the big guys in Lionheart. That might be a different one, but that's what it looked like here. If that's a different one, I don't know my sports. But apparently, this guy was killed. Then this guy named John Callahan, he was questioned on the murder, and he was killed, and his dead body is found in the trunk. And it might deal with the whole gambling issue, and money was owed. That one, I mean, I don't know. I can't really say. The only thing that I found interesting about it was the sport. Like, the sport that the guy bought is the only thing that kind of made it different. Other than that, I don't even remember much about it. I hate to say it. I think that was solved. I think they did find out later on who did it. Something about when the special aired, one person admitted to doing it, but they didn't know that the other person he was admitting it to was an undercover cop. And then I know more information came out when the special aired. I would say the least interesting to me, because there's about 4 of them, is Dodge. The Dodge cars. Like, this person wondering if they're related to Dodge. If so, they're owed a lot of money. But then the person says it's not really about the money. It's about the heritage. Although another person said it seemed like it was more about the money for them. And pretty much, oh, well, Dodge had Siamese twins and kept one and gave the other away. That one seemed kind of... I don't want to say out of the blue, but it seemed like a weird choice for this because you get a missing person who might be abducted or was killed or he died of. Then you got contract killings. After this, you got robbers. And here, am I related to this person? I don't know. Am I related to this person? That just seemed like the really... I guess they put it in there just to show people the variety of unsolved mysteries, but I would say that was the least compelling and the least interesting. And to be honest, I'm kind of like, I don't give a shit if you're related to this person or not. Sorry, I didn't really care. But the last one was interesting because there's these two robbers. Apparently they used grenades and dynamite. And they take over 20 people hostage. They were on the 10 most wanted list at the time. And a guy tells a story, a guy who worked at a bank. Kind of an interesting way how these robbers were able to rob one particular bank. Was the robbers saw that the person had a car for sale. So these two guys, one of them played by Rex Lynn in this reenactment. Hey, how much you want for the car? Hey, can we go inside and talk about it? Then they get their guns, sit down, don't say anything. They left the gun. They come back. Good job. Because if you took that gun was on safety. It was a test. And like, you don't say anything. In the morning, they took the family, made the guy, or at least took the guy, said don't do anything stupid, open up the bank, go in, steal everything, and they were able to get away scot-free. I don't know about later if they got caught. They might have. Because I'm sure online you can look up like what happened if they were solved or unsolved. Wow, just the way that they did that again wasn't your typical bank robbery. And yeah, like the whole unsolved mysteries, the music used, which you hear much more of that music used in a variety of ways on the show. Its presentation. I did see why it became popular. It's that curiosity factor. Especially if you watch it with a group of people, and then after it gets done, you have a conversation, some more than others. So yeah, I can understand the appeal of it. And Raymond Burr, I mean, a lot of people talk about Robert Stack for good reason, but I thought Raymond Burr did a good job hosting as well. I thought Raymond Burr had a good stature, his voice worked, at least better than Carl Malden. I didn't really... Because I saw a bit of that one. Yeah, Raymond Burr I thought fit very well. But Robert Stack, of course, was a natural at it. But yeah, Raymond Burr didn't do a bad job. Not at all. So, I'm not sure what else to say. It's not like you talk about the production value or the plot, the story. But, yeah. It is online for free. If you do want to watch it, I mean, it's on... I don't know if it's on YouTube, but it's on... I think it was on Daily Motion, and if you go to Google, you type Unsolved Mysteries Special, or Special 1, and on the tab, you go to videos, you'll find it. If you're curious about it. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.